Hello and welcome to Boats and Engines. Loads to do in this episode, but I think we'll start off by giving the boat a clean. So I'll just do some quick before and after shots. Just going to pressure wash it down, and I won't show it in any detail, just get some before shots and then some afters. So here we go. The new starter's appeared. It's much less substantial than the original one, which is a bit worrying. Also, can you see that? It has a different number of teeth on the Bendix. The mounting holes look the same, but I just don't know if it's going to engage properly. I guess we fit it and find out. Also, this one was supported at the back up there. Can't do that on this one, but it's also a fraction of the weight. The other one's really heavy, and I'm guessing that must just be Chinese crap. It wasn't the cheapest one, and it was sold as a marine starter, but I guess we'll stick it on and see if it works. The new starter's in now. Moment of truth. Yes. I'm not going to attempt to start because I've got some JB Weld on that exhaust riser, but that sounds way better, so pleased with that. Because it looked so different, I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but that's awesome. I've got the new fuel sender just sort of rigged in place with the connections just clamped together. So floats at the bottom, so that should read empty now. And we have empty. I'll put it up to halfway. About halfway. And what's the fuel gauge say? Yeah, it's coming up. It's obviously got a bit of delay on it, rolling average or whatever, so it doesn't jump up and down as the boat moves. Hopefully that goes to half and stays at about half. Yep. Now you've got to be a bit careful getting the senders because there's a couple of different resistant values, but I think I've got the right one. I did some googling. That come up to full. Yes. So I think we're good. So I'll get that old nasty one out. I've had it out once before and it is horrible. put that in. Maybe I'll solder the wires on the other one first. Yeah, I'll do that. Right, let's get this low rant fish finder removed. The LCD's dead, the transducer's missing, and it's not very clever anyway. I'm sure it was good in its day, but very out of date now. I'm afraid that will be bin. Not worth selling with a bad LCD. And that gives me a bit more visibility as well. Got a very nice cable gland on here. If I put maybe a USB cable or something coming through, I don't know. I have got a waterproof USB plug to put in the dashboard, so I might leave this here. Could be useful for something else. Try and get the cables out first. I've got this piece of MDF all fiberglassed in, so I can't really film it and do it at the same time because space is so limited. And I went over every bit of MDF. So this is the repair somebody else has done. I would have done it in plywood, but they've used this MDF. I'm not going to redo it, so I've just glassed it in along the bottom, inside and out, and coated all of the MDF with resin. I've got to make a little bulkhead panel in ply to go in there, fiberglass that in. The floor, I think this is original, but it's not very nicely cut out. I might cut out something better fitting. I probably won't fiberglass it in, I'll just screw it down so you've got access to the bilges underneath, but this will get all carpeted over eventually anyway. But yeah, that looks better. The hatch didn't actually leak after pressure washing, so I think any dampness and rot that is obviously being cut out here is probably from the old water system and sink. That's probably why it's been disabled. Just working to get this gimbal housing off, and I just took a plate off here, and I think this is maybe a trim position sensor. It's got a wire coming out of it. It's absolutely packed full of grease around it, which is probably a good thing. So I'll dig that out and make sure there's no more fixings. Then turn the steering the other way, and hiding in there is a spline drive. So I guess that's how this comes out. Well, no, because it can't be a shaft going all the way through. So maybe there's something underneath that as well. I'll have a dig, see what we can find. So this is what's underneath the grease. I'm filming this for me as much as anything because those two slots, top and bottom, are obviously adjustment for the trim, and it looks to me like it's bang on in the middle. Very gently, see if I can tease this out. Yes. Okay. And that looks to be another spline drive in there. I'll see if I have one. Right, yes I do. I have an M14 and I've got an M16, and the M14's too small and the M16's too big. So I think I need an M15 spline drive to get that out. I'm sure I can find one of those online somewhere. It's a bit of one of those annoying things where a tool like that you're only going to use for this, but never mind. What's that there? Oh, it's got a little trim up and down. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a shame this has to go. I just don't want to risk JB welding that. It's not like the exhaust on the inside where it's not a huge problem if it leaks out. Well, it'll flood the engine bay a bit, but at least cooling water's getting through, and I'm pretty sure it will hold on that. Just taking a little look at the fueling issue. So when I crank the engine, no fuel's coming out of there. This pipe goes down to the fuel pump, and before that there's a filter. I discovered, so that's the pipe that goes into the filter, and there's no fuel there, it's completely dry. It could mean there's a bad fuel pump, or maybe I created an airlock when I drained that fuel filter, or I presume that's on, but it could be off in that position. So I've just got a vacuum pump. This is normally used for draining oil from boat engines, and I've just sealed it in using some butyl rubber, and so we'll give it a pump and see if we get any fuel coming through. See that? Right, we definitely have fuel. Just closed off the line. Okay. So I cranked it for a while and still no fuel's coming out of here, which I think suggests the fuel pump's bad. If you know any better than that, please comment down below and tell me if I'm missing something. But the fuel pump itself, I'll have to get the phone because I can't even look down there. It's down in there, and I don't know if the camera shows how difficult that is to get to. I don't think I could change that without taking the engine out, to be honest. So I'm thinking just put in a normal electric fuel pump rather than rely on that mechanical one. It could mount down there, and I could get a barb fitting to go straight in there. The only issue is I don't know what this does. I guess that's a return line or something. I'll trace that back and see where that goes. So we're not going to be starting it today. I don't think there's any hope. I mean, I've tried so much to get fuel through. The fuel is getting to there, no problem at all. When I put vacuum pump on it, got there straight away. So I'm sure the fuel pump's bad. And also, that looks like, if you know more about Chevys, is that a standard Chevy fuel pump? I don't think it is. I think it's probably some Yamaha thing, which is going to be, again, probably more expensive than the boat. So I think I'm going to have to get a electric fuel pump for down in there. So we've had some success today. The new starter's good at least. The fuel gauge is good at least. So now we're on to the next problem, which is the fuel pump. And I'll do a little bit of research before I come back. But thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, if you have any suggestions, comment down below. Seems to be one thing after another, but at least we are getting more things working. Well, yeah, thanks very much. Bye bye.